Today on our 2015 Acura MDX, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Etrailer Class 3 custom fit trailer hitch receiver, part number E98840. So here's what our hitch is going to look like once we have it fully installed on our Acura. Now you can see that all we're going to see is the receiver tube sticking out because that cross tube is actually going to be tucked behind the bumper here, giving it a really nice appearance, not distracting from our Acura. It is a Class 3 hitch, which means it's going to give us that 2" by 2" receiver tube opening, which means we're going to have a lot of different options for accessories. Now the way we're going to mount all of our accessories, the hitch pin hole here on the side, and it is going to accept a standard 5/8 pin and clip. Now while these aren't included in the kit, you can pick them up along with locking devices here at Etrailer.com. As far as the safety chain connecting points go, it's going to be a loop style welded to the bottom of the receiver tube. And as you can see, we're going to have plenty of room to get most size hooks on or off. And the slight offset from the hitch pin hole means it should give us a little bit better clearance so we don't have to worry about it interfering. Our hitch is going to have a matte black carbide finish to it, so it's going to blend in really nicely with the bottom of the bumper here, and it's not going to be so distracting like some of those high gloss finishes are. It's also going to help prevent any kind of scratches and hide the dirt and dust really well. As far as the weight capacity goes, our hitch is going to have a 900-pound tongue weight, which is the maximum downward force at the receiver tube. It's also going to have a 6,000-pound gross trailer weight rating, which is the amount it can pull, including the trailer and everything we have loaded on it. Now the hitch is rated for use with weight distribution systems, and that's going to be a separate component that's mounted on the trailer. But that's going to keep our tongue weight the same, but it's going to bump our gross trailer weight rating up to 8,000 pounds. Now with all those numbers in mind, you always want to double check your MDX's owner's manual and never exceed the manufacturer's recommended towing weight. Now keep in mind, if you do have an accessory installed in your hitch and it does come up and you have backup sensors, keep in mind it is going to be going off whenever you're in reverse, but whenever you put it in drive, it won't affect that sensor at all. Now I'd like to give you a few measurements that'll help you when deciding for accessories for your new hitch, such as a ball mount, bike rack, or even a cargo carrier. From the center of the hitch pin holes, the outermost edge of the bumper is going to be right about 2.5 inches. That measurement's going to come in handy when you're looking at folding accessories to make sure you have adequate clearance so it doesn't come in contact with the rear bumper. From the ground to the inside top edge of the receiver tube opening, it's going to be right about 14.5 inches. That measurement is not only going to come in handy when you're looking at ball mounts to find the appropriate riser drop for your trailer, but at that height I would definitely recommend a bike rack or a cargo carrier with a raised shank to give you a little bit more ground clearance. So now that we've seen what our hitch looks like and gone over some of the features, let's show you how to get it installed. To begin our installation, we're going to need to come into our rear hatch so we can lower down our spare tire. There's going to be a rubber plug underneath the floor covering here. Then we can take our tools and lower down our spare tire. Then we can lift up our spare tire and we'll slide the piece through the center, and we'll set this aside for now. Now if we move underneath our Acura and we come to the side of the frame, we can point out our attachment points. We're going to have 3 weld nuts on the bottom of the frame, one towards the very back, one in between in the middle, and then we'll have one right next to the exhaust hanger over here on the passenger side. And we're going to have the same 3 mounting locations on the driver's side frame rail, but we're not going to have the exhaust in the way. Now since they don't have any kind of covering on them, it's a good idea to clean those out. So I'm going to take a little bit of spray lubricant, spray it inside the weld nuts. I'm going to take a nylon brush and I'm going to clean them out, making sure there's no dirt, debris, or any kind of rust buildup inside of there. And once you clean out the weld nut really well, it's a good idea to grab one of the bolts in our kit and see if you can run it in by hand. You want to be able to at least get a few threads in to make sure it's not going to bind up or cross thread. Now we're going to repeat that for all the remaining holes that will be used in mounting it. Now keep in mind, everything we do to one side of our vehicle, we're going to be doing the exact same thing on the other side. Now for each one of our attachment points, we're going to be using the bolts provided in our kit, and we're also going to take a conical tooth washer, but you want to make sure that the teeth are facing up towards the hitch and the frame. So with an extra set of hands, we're going to lift our hitch into position. We'll line it up with the holes in the frame. And then we're loosely going to put at least one piece of hardware on each side, and we don't have to worry about the hitch falling down. And once the hitch is supported, we can put the rest of our hardware in place. Now with all of our hardware in place, I'll come back with a 22mm socket and I'm going to snug it all up. I'm going to come back with that same 22mm socket and a torque wrench. I'm going to torque all my hardware down to the specified amount in the instructions. So we can go ahead and reinstall our spare tire. And as you can see, our spare tire is going to fit perfectly in there and our hitch is not going to interfere at all. That'll finish up your look at the Etrailer Class 3 custom fit trailer hitch receiver, part number E98840 on our 2015 Acura MDX.